some of my favorite stuff that you've done. And some of my favorite stuff that you've done is the undercover shit. And one of the things that I found the most...
Oh, talking with Steven Crowder. Hey, apparently Joe Rogan's a big fan of... Joe Rogan's a big fan of Steven Crowder's undercover content. Like this... Wait, haha. Get ready for it, guys. Are you ready to bust a gut laughing? Let's see. Where is it exactly? I know. Yeah, hidden cam, pregnant transgender at Planned Parenthood. This is the height of comedy. This is the height of comedy to which Joe Rogan is referring, where Steven Crowder dresses up like a woman and pretends to be a pregnant transgender woman, and then proceeds to intimidate and confuse Planned Parenthood clinic workers for like 5 minutes in a really fucking cringy video. This is the shit that Joe Rogan is here for. This is that high quality portray. Ooh, Steven Crowder trying to come back up with it ever since your comedy show on Fox got canceled. I guess you make do, right? Thanks for the $2 Australian bucks. Sorry about before. Consider Streamlabs OBS instead. I have considered it. I'm getting a new computer soon, okay? It'll be able to handle the increased bandwidth. Can we focus?
Disturbing was when you two posed as a gay couple and you went to that place where they were advocating transgender children and transitioning children as young as 3 years old. Right?
I don't know, it was 3 years old, but puberty blockers they were talking about.
Yeah, but I think it was really...
I like that, by the way. Right, okay, so right off the bat. Okay, listen. Like somebody in chat said earlier, Joe Rogan is really fucking weird about trans people. Steven Crowder hates trans people. A beautiful union of minds, okay? So, right off the bat, Joe Rogan is like, yeah, they were trying to transition kids at 3. And Steven Crowder has to be like, no, they weren't 3. Also... it was puberty blockers. Like puberty blockers and transitioning are two completely different things. Jesus Christ. This is like saying like, hey, yeah, so I went to this I went to this like a PTA meetup, and they were discussing like the benefits of how to raise your kids, and one of the women there was saying that like just beating the shit out of your kid, just hammering the shit out of them was a good way to like discipline your kid. And then someone else corrects like, actually no, she meant spanking, like you pop like that, but pop.
Fucking no, you know what? Actually, 3 years old was Owen Benjamin, got in an argument on Twitter and lost his manager because he was saying that someone is fucking insane for giving puberty blockers to a 3-year-old kid, for giving hormone blockers to a baby. Yeah. Which I am, fuck yeah, that's not even a strong enough word. I mean, it's insanity. Fucking insanity. I mean, you're
opposing gay marriage and saying gay couples are degenerate. People got opinions. Mishearing some story about forcing 3-year-olds to transition. Fucking disgusting, dude. The things these degenerates are gonna...
Your body's not even developed. You're not even close. We're not talking about 18. We're not even talking about 21.
Unpopular opinion, spanking is beating your kid. Yeah, spanking is beating your kid. But there's a difference between spanking and beating your kid. Let's be real here.
One which is arguable, still crazy. Like, you should probably wait until your fucking frontal cortex fully develops to figure out who you...
Nobody is giving puberty blockers to 3-year-olds, by the way. Like, puberty doesn't even start until you're like 8, 9, 10. Nobody is giving fucking puberty blockers to 3-year-olds.
You are. But the idea that you're going to know at 3 who you're going to be when you're 30.
Well, they present the other side.
Bananas.
They act as though you're crazy. That was what they were like, well, you know, the things with the puberty... Remember that person looked like Smee? Looked like Smee from Hook.
Well, let's play
Smee
it.
with Hook,
let's play some of it because it's fucking nuts. When I watched it, I was like, oh my God, like, what are these people saying? And
it's been taken down since you asked me about that too.
Really?
Yeah, we have to blurt the guy. Well, I'm not afraid.
Who took it down?
Rex Butt. Dr. Rex Butt, who shows up in Pride Parades. His name is Rex Butt.
That is
Kid
hilarious.
Kid you not.
We're
We had the business
not in
card.
a real world. We're in a goddamn simulation.
It was a town hall. This was a town hall.
We're in a simulation. This can't be real. A guy, his name is Rex Butt.
And he got YouTube
What do you
to
do
take
for
it
a
down.
living?
Yeah.
You know.
And YouTube acquiesced to Rex Butt.
Son. Okay, let's play some of this, and if there's, for most of the people are listening rather than watching. So
Not Jared, you know what this is?
explain
Because you
it.
gave him the...
No,
So, hold on, let's set this up.
What are you saying? Just say, fucking talk about the issue. Stop jerking each other off.
So what was this?
Okay. It was, well, not gay Jared and I. So here's one. Can I preface this with something?
Yes.
We don't, like, we're not undercover journalists. So
Right.
we do a late night show. That's what we do. We do comedy, we do the monologue, we do joke sketches, and we do interviews, and then...
Comedy. Remember the comedy segment from the most recent Steven Crowder video that we looked at, where he just like did a black guy's voice like 4 times over the course of a video, and it was really cringy and fucking awkward.
Every now and then we stumble across something, and when you're doing, for example, like Antifa, and they hand you a knife and they talk about shooting Ben Shapiro.
We'll talk about that too.
But the point is, and then when the media just lies about it, like we feel compelled to. This isn't our thing.
Right.
It just
This,
is
in
one
fact,
of many
this particular
things.
one was kind of a throwaway.
It was a throw. We were joking. It was a goof. It was
we didn't even bother with costumes. We just walked in and said we're queer.
It was what the healthcare transgender town hall. We were like, oh my
It was
god.
a transgender town hall.
Transgender town
Where
hall.
was it at?
Vermont.
yeah.
Burlington, Vermont.
Oh, that place is crazy.
Oh, I was on the plane with Bernie Sanders on the way there too. It was.
Give me your money. I'm gonna give it to the blacks.
Joe Rogan, the centrist, you know, connoisseur of all sides, laughing and joking with Steven Crowder, and oh yeah, Bernie Sanders, he's gonna steal your money and give it to the blacks. Yes, ooh, that good centrist energy coming from Joe Rogan. Ooh.
Okay.
Give money to the blacks. It's a human right.
They're fucking. Oh my god, they're keeping with it. Oh man, they're keeping the combo. Let's keep it going.
Okay.
Give money to the blacks. It's a human right.
Let's play.
All right.
He's about 6 now. He has said that it feels like a girl, prefers playing with dolls, and of course we don't want to discourage it. We spoke with our primary care physician. He said wait until the boy is fully developed.
We made all
That's
this.
right.
That's right.
Fully developed is a little vague.
That's me.
And I would say a little inaccurate from the research.
A little inaccurate from the research I've done.
If the kid
18's too late.
insists, then it's just like, okay, get rid of the puberty blockers. They just go through late puberty.
That's it.
Everything's still lined up. There's no indication there's any damage.
That's not true.
No.
They're lying, by the way. They're watching this. This is like one of the undercover Steven Crowder clips or whatever, and they're commenting over it, and they're lying. Everything that the people here are saying is completely true.
Puberty blockers are not reversible. That's the entire point.
That's not the
It's
point.
the child.
It's the opposite.
The young someone at the pre-adolescent age going into those adolescent.
It's going to change the way your body
Time.
develops.
Oh,
No
of
question
course.
at all.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, there's no way giving a kid a puberty blocker, letting them go through life with a puberty blocker, and then at 17 or whatever the fuck it is, decide to take that shit off. You're going to be the exact same human being you would have been
Yeah,
without
these are
that.
the same people.
You will be. Here. All right, for those of you who don't know, let's do it. It's paint time, okay? All right. We're going to draw my life, okay? Look, we're doing it. All right? Here's my life. Okay? Let's fucking do it. All right? So, we're going to first we got to establish the Y. That's a click. The Y axis, okay? All right? So, here's me being a man. And here is me being a lady. Do I need to explain to all of you that I don't believe in the gender binary, and I'm using this incredibly simplistic and reductive example just to illustrate the problem that Steven Crowder and Joe Rogan are railing into here, and that in reality gender is much more complicated than this? Do I need to explain this to you? No, I do not. Okay, so right here at this point, this little neutral center point of perfect androgyny, we have little baby boy me, little baby Vosh, okay? So here's me at 0 years old. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm starting to develop a few gendered characteristics. Not many, though. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we hit 10, okay? Vosh really hit the fucking ball at 10, okay? Then we hit 10. Boo! Okay? Well, it wasn't really like that. It was probably more like this, okay? And then we hit puberty, and then we fucking... And here's where we're at, okay? And here's where we're at today, all right? I am pretty solidly masculine here. Okay? I did it. We made it. We did it, okay? Kids, pre-puberty individuals, tend to be pretty fucking androgynous. This little zone right here, because most gendered characteristics aren't really developed until you hit puberty. So, let's say, for example, that we're still me, we're still Vosh. However, when I was 8 years old, so like hereabouts, Okay, when I was like 8 years old, I was like, hey, you know, I kind of like dresses and lipstick and high heels and stuff, and I like to play like princess or whatever. And my parents think this wouldn't have been the case back in like the early 2000s, but if we move things up like 20 years or so, my parents think like, hey, my boy Vosh is kind of acting like a fucking trans girl. So what they can do is then, let's say I'm 8, okay? And right here at 8, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still right here. My parents can take me to go see a therapist or a specialized, specifically trained medical practitioner. And with the recommendation of that practitioner, I can get put on hormone blockers, okay? This is the hypothetical hormone blocker zone. And 8, by the way, is pretty early for this. I'm saying 8 because I hit puberty early. Because I'm all, you know, oh, big boy. But let's say I get the puberty blockers, okay? So what this does is it means that I then, for a little while longer, continue on the trend that I would have. I don't want there to be a dip there. I would have continued on the trend that I would have if I hadn't hit puberty, okay? So let's say now that I'm 13, okay? I'm 13, I now know enough about my identity to know for a fact what kind of people I'm interested in sexually. I have a better understanding of my own identity and the things that I'm interested in. My mental development hasn't been slowed by the hormone blockers at all. It's not like I'm kept a child or anything. Just some aspects of my hormonal development have been retarded. An accurate word to use in this situation, if perhaps a little silly. So here I am at 13, and now I have two choices, okay? All right? Either I throw my hands up at my parents and I go like, hey, I know we've been doing this for a little while. I actually feel like a dude, all right? I went through a phase or whatever. I'm feeling pretty doodly right now. Yeah, got some really good pit stink going on. I think I want to have just a massive hairy fucking body, okay? I get taken off the hormone blockers, and instantly my thyroid, which has been bulging inside of me like a pair of ripe fucking blue-balled nuts, explodes, and I head right back up to where I would have otherwise. All available evidence suggests that this is the case. No long-term damage, a quick return to where you would be otherwise. The literal only thing that happens if you put your kid on hormone blockers and then take them off is they just spend more time being kind of like an androgynous kid. Doesn't make them stupider, doesn't make them like weird or fucked up later. This is a completely safe procedure, okay? And then, of course, we have the alternate option. At 13, I'm like, hey, I'm really glad you put me on hormone blockers because I feel like a girl. I think I'm a girl. Vosh is a girl. Vosh is okay? It's lady time, all right? And then, with the help of HRT and other feminizing hormones, I get to go through the opposite. And then I get to be girl Vosh, which is like me now, but with big boobies. Big boobies. Okay? Look at that. Beautiful. It's, dabs. It's lady time. So, why are hormone blockers important? Well, the reason why hormone blockers are important is because imagine that hypothetical trans girl Ian hadn't gone on hormone blockers. Okay? So we are now in this timeline. This one, the one where I took the same biological track that I did now. Okay? And I experience male puberty starting at 10. Okay? So we start with male puberty, right? And this whole time, I am confused and fucking upset about all the shit that's happening to my body. My enormous penis, which grew pretty much with my age, 8, 9, 10, 11 inches soft. My very hairy body, I'm quite hairy. My tremendous, irresistible physical strength. My incredibly deep voice. All of these things, all of them, oh, did I dox myself? Whatever. It was already pretty much publicly known. So, my very deep voice, all of these things distress me. Right here. This is distressing, okay? If you are a trans girl, listen, imagine if you're a boy in the audience right now, okay? If you're a dude, if you identify as a dude, imagine like growing up and seeing like big fucking titties pop out of you, okay? And you're like weak and you have a soft voice and like, I mean, like this thing, if you feel like you shouldn't feel that way, that shit is upsetting, okay? So not only if I don't go through hormone blockers is this shit upsetting, but say I hit 13 right here, and I come up to my parents, and I'm like, hey, I want to transition. I'm a fucking girl. I want to transition. For me to get here is much harder. Like, and the degree to which I am capable now of presenting as a woman depends on a ton of factors. I'm a really naturally masculine person. I'm tall. I have really broad shoulders. I have a really strong natural physiology. I don't work out or anything, but like even without working out, my stats are pretty high. Even with, how'd my chapstick get down here? Did I knock it off while pounding the desk? Probably. Even with HRT and the help of other feminizing procedures, it's going to be much more difficult for me to reach this sort of idealized societally validated degree of femininity. This is why hormone blockers are important. They harm nobody. Literally nobody gets hurt. No moves are made without the counseling of a therapist or a specialized medical practitioner. They prevent a fuck ton of dysphoria, self-harm, suicide, suicidal ideation, anxiety, and depression by keeping people who aren't out as trans yet from experiencing a puberty they don't want to experience. They give trans people the ability to much more easily reach a body type they consider ideal, and if you decide not to fucking transition, you can go right back to where you would otherwise. What's the difference between this timeline and this timeline? So I spend my high school a little bit like a little bit less gendered, a little bit more androgynous. So what? I would have gotten laid like gangbusters anyway with my fat fucking dick. All right? Easy. This is it. This is it. We did it. Okay? We get it? Do we do it? Somebody says there's a chud in chat. Is there anyone in chat right now, anyone whatsoever, who has a problem with this and wants to argue it with me? A single person. Because this is settled medical science. Oh, you banned the people who disagreed with me? That's probably for the best. Anyone who disagrees with this is an idiot or a bigot. There is no alternative. This is settled medical science. Hormone blockers are very well researched and studied. .368 Sounds and Noises Co. Uh-oh. 368 Sounds and Noises Co. Do you want to talk about it? Oh, you have a question? You don't want to debate and you don't disagree? Okay, what's your question? This is it. This is my power hour. Let's do it. Ask me your question. In the meantime, I'll fucking close this. Let me respond real quick. Razgriz8833 with the $5 through Super Chat. Crowder looks like that D-bag from high school who never stopped doing That's What She Said jokes and keeps trying to fuck this. Well, possibly. Pink Diamond, thanks for the $2. React to, is it wrong to disagree with LGBT? Love you? Yeah, why not? Sure. Give a peek at that. Why the fuck not? Hideyoshi Deluge with the 2.79 Canadian dollars. Are there any reasonable conservatives? No, there just aren't. Alan Hannigan with the $2. What's up, dude? Sending my contribution. Love you. I love you too, friend. And MLG Bernie Sanders with the $5. Fuck these guys. Joe Rogan is a piece of shit. Does he not understand that them blatantly lying about this issue makes trans hate worse? A group that's already deeply marginalized. We hate it even more. Fuck Steven too, but I expect that from the massive con. I honestly think Joe Rogan is just as bad, if not worse, because his veneer of neutrality enables their rhetoric so much worse. And Tori, thanks for the 2 New Zealand bucks. Chud in chat, so I have been made aware. I really appreciate the support, guys, as always, and I apologize for jumping around a bunch. All right, what the fuck did I say? Vosh, I don't think it's wrong, but I want to point out you might never get to the lady side if you go to the man side. Yeah, but I don't want to, like, be discouraging to all the fucking trans girls in chat who didn't get hormone blockers. Fuck that. No. There are plenty of really hot fucking trans girls who didn't go on hormone blockers and who experienced male puberty. Have faith. Julian Roja. With the $5, true, and delaying sex hormones will stop the body from slowing down bone growth, so individuals will usually be taller. Seems like a benefit to me. Interesting, I didn't know that. I would have to look more into the science before I felt comfortable regurgitating that point. But if it's true that taking hormone blockers makes you taller, whew, that's an argument right there, ain't it? Ciancius, you're not discouraged on my watch. I'm an ally or something. I don't fucking know. I want the hot trans audience. I do want the hot trans audience. And the trans audience that isn't as comfortable with their appearance. And literally everyone else. I want everyone, okay? Take a look at Tasmania and non-binary default birth certificates just brought in. I will have to look at that later. So who was that person who said they wanted to have a question? I'm waiting on that question. In the meantime, let's continue. I know we get distracted easily. So, 368 replied. I guess I can sum it up like, if I was born with a penis, not a trans girl, but simply questioning as a prepubescent, then taking hormone blockers would block development of my male sexual traits? Yeah. For a time. For like a couple years. Or even less. In most cases, hormone blockers aren't going to be applied for multiple years in a row. They're usually just as a sort of delaying process to give the child more time to make a decision about their preferred gender identity. But it doesn't do any like long term. Maybe you'll get laid less in high school because your little pee-pee can't get as big and hard. I think that's a small price to pay to potentially prevent like massive fucking physiological and psychological problems later in life. How can I help left-tubers? I have a lot of dumb followers. Well, you can always send them over to my stream. I don't know. I think we got a pretty good stream going on here. Maybe, possibly, apart from all the cutouts and the fact that I don't know how to work OBS and that I'm generally clueless. I think we're pretty okay over here. All right. Let's keep it going. Wouldn't this be the same as the damage caused by not taking hormone blockers? No. This is very much settled science. There is no evidence of people who are on hormone blockers experiencing gender dysphoria at all. But there is evidence of gender dysphoria in trans people who undergo puberty that they don't want to undergo, which is bad enough to lead to suicide. The two just aren't comparable in that respect. Like, I'm not saying that there can never be any issues whatsoever with taking hormone blockers. Of course, potentially, there are always going to be some side issues where maybe, potentially, someone would have preferred to have their big erect dongo in high school or something, or big floppy boobers. But that doesn't really change the fact that the potential harm that is being prevented is just leagues worse. Just leagues worse. What are the side effects of hormone blockers? There aren't any. There are none. It just prevents you from going through puberty for a bit. But the puberty is inevitable. Once you get off the hormone blockers, the puberty comes. Okay, and I want to say thank you for answering my questions and not banning me. I'm trying to understand. No, of course. Hey, I don't ban people who disagree with me. I ban people who shout fucking racial slurs. If my mods ban you guys, that's not my fault. They're fucking trigger happy. I'm just trying to stream.
Worried about little estrogen in milk cartons. So.
Yeah, I mean, and this guy's
Is it
saying...
BPA-free plastic? Because I don't want it to alter my hormones. By the way, I'm going to chop off my balls and do puberty blockers at 8.
Well, this
Nobody's asking anyone to chop off 8-year-olds' balls.
is, I mean, you can't let a kid make those decisions. You can't make those decisions for a kid.
Nobody's making those decisions for a kid, and the kid isn't making those decisions. If a kid looks very obviously like they're uncomfortable with the gendered presentation that they were assigned at birth, you take them to a specialist who will give them a diagnosis, and with medical recommendation, you can put them on hormone blockers. Nobody is forcing them on the kids, and the kid can't just say, I feel like a girl, and then you just snip, just take that fucking junk off. Okay? This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen anywhere. Nowhere does this happen.
They're too young.
He just remembered he had a wiener 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
He's not thinking about these things.
No. No, he's just picking his
5,
nose and
15?
wiping his booger off on the couch 3 minutes ago, and now you're letting him decide his hormonal profile?
Yeah, the idea that a child who's 6 years old or whatever would know the consequences, but them
It keeps getting younger. 10 years old, 8 years old, 6 years old. The idea that these fucking radical gender abolitionists would want to have babies in the womb, zygotes even, to make decisions as to whether or not fuck off with these people. It just needs to be pre-puberty. Hey, Sean Locke with the 20 fucking dollary dues. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. I was one of these guys in middle and high school. If you know who he is, actually Jim Sterling opened me up to leftist ideas. Then people like you and H-Bomb that turned me into a socialist. So thanks. Well, fuck yeah. I'm happy. Look, I've gone through a similar arc personally. I'm really happy things have gone well for you and that you're feeling more comfortable with your sort of political state now. Seriously. And thank you so much for the support. That's incredibly generous.
saying that 18 is too late and that it's not, that they would disagree with your primary care physician that it's too young based on the research that I've done. What fucking research have you done where you can clearly point that it's a good idea to transition a 6-year-old?
No, holy shit, every time. Nobody's talking about transitioning a fucking 6-year-old. Nobody's even talking about hormone blockers for a 6-year-old. 6-year-olds don't go through fucking puberty. Right? I don't think so. From what I've read, hormone blockers are generally applied to people like 9, 10, 11, thereabouts, and they're done with the consultation of a medical specialist, and through this child's development, they are then checked up on by the medical practitioner to see how things are coming psychologically and physiologically. And there's no harm to this if you just take them off it. Nobody's talking about transitioning.
Well, that's a problem. Here's another problem. We don't know if YouTube is going to ban this video because of what you just said.
Well, I guarantee you.
And the conservative censorship. Oh, won't anyone think about the poor conservative censorship from Steven Crowder with the how many fucking subs does Steven Crowder have? Like 3 million? And Joe Rogan. Oh, Joe Rogan just GRE clips with the 2.1 million subs. Oh, if only YouTube weren't censoring their incredibly nuanced views.
This video is going to get marked for demonetization.
Well, yeah.
But the Jordan Peterson one just got flagged. And we talked about this book. We talked about the 12 rules for life.
Yeah.
Every single one of my videos gets flagged too, you fucking dumbasses, you dipshit, you fucking idiots. It actually fucking infuriates me. All of my videos get fucking flagged. Every single one of them. The only one of my there are like 3 videos of mine that haven't gotten flagged, and all of them are apolitical. All political content gets flagged. It's not just conservative shit. Transgender people who make videos, that gets flagged for less monetization. Gay people, if you put LGBT in your video, that gets flagged too. Everyone gets flagged on YouTube if you're doing political content. Fuck off with this. Whiny fucking bitch boys, the eternal fucking snowflakes, constantly crying about something everyone is subjected to.
I talked about guidelines for living a healthy...
Just started reading it.
It's a great book. Mm-hmm. Let's keep going.
Authors.
Play a little more of this.
To understand themselves.
When the testicle reaches a particular diameter and the penis is...
I don't know anything about testicle diameter, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't been doing my research. I don't know much about how testicle diameter plays into this, but I'm willing to learn.
developed enough, then there'll be enough. If you're going to transition the other way, there'll be enough material to create a vagina.
Oh, God.
Because that's the problem. Jazz...
There'd be enough material to create a vagina if the testicles and the penis are developed enough.
Did you know this? Did you know that unless your penis gets big enough, you can't get a fake vagina because there's not enough tissue to invert? So he's like, this is him. He's like, now if you decide to go transition the other...
I like how they're getting all like grossed out, like, but like as if the process by which somebody transitions is just like this just flippant thing that you choose to do wildly. Like, oh yeah, I think I'll get a vagina today, and fake vagina, by the way. Like what the fuck are they talking about? This is pretty clearly evidenced.
The way, meaning if you decide to not transition, remember how everyone made fun of this the beauty pageant girl when she was asked about gay marriage? She's like, and gay marriage or opposite marriage, and everyone laughed. And it was silly. You know what I mean? She was conservative, but it was silly. But he's doing that right here. Like, should you choose to transition or transition the other way? You mean, should you choose to not cut off your penis? That's transition the other way now?
Well, not only that.
What? Wait, what? So this guy's parse of phrase, they're like triggered over this? What the fuck are they even talking about right now? Jesus Christ, these snowflakes.
There's a lot of people in the transgender community that think it's offensive to assume that you have to get an operation, get your penis removed in order to be transgender.
Almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's saying that the genitalia you have determine your gender. Especially since with the trans guys, really hard to build a penis, by the way. Building a vagina, pretty simple. Hammer, chisel, tick, tick, you got it. All right? Building a penis, much more complicated. You need paper mache. It's a whole fucking process. What are they talking about?
So this guy's making this big assumption that this is what you have to do in order to transition.
No. At no point did that guy say, "Hey, your kid won't really be transgender unless they have bottom surgery." At no point did they say that. All they said is that if the kid wants this, there are certain ways to ensure the procedure can go more smoothly than others. This is guys, just so you know, this is what both of these fucking caprician big brain boys came into this discussion with. Trans people are gross. This is gross. This is literally what they came in with. They're just grossed out by trans people. They'll try and rationalize it and justify it and such, but that is the fundamental value they came in here with.
I know a lot of people that are transgender that do not have the operation. I don't know a lot of people. I should say that. I'm in a community focus group with transgender people. By the way, let me say this too. I'm 100.
I like that too. This is a minor point, but like I know a lot of trans people who haven't trans. I mean, not a lot of people, and they all laugh like, haha. I don't know what would be funny about that unless the joke was that it would be like weird to be friends with trans people. I could be wrong. I don't know.
100% in favor of grown adults deciding to transition. I think you should be able to tattoo your face, get nose rings. I don't give a fuck what you do. I really don't.
Yeah, but you're also asking the government to pay for your face tattoo.
Yes, that's true. Well, and there was another thing. Here, I'll send this to you, Jamie.
Yeah, because not tattooing your face when you want to tattoo your face hasn't been shown to substantially increase the likelihood of suicide, depression, and anxiety. I like that little snippet there, like, the trans people are trying to force the government to pay for it. Okay. Yeah, it's a medical procedure. People who think that there should be single-payer healthcare will extend that privilege to fucking bottom surgery. Obviously, it's not as though nobody is saying like, "Hey, the government should pay for trans people transitioning," but every other medical procedure that should be on your book, buddy. You broke your arm in a car accident, whew, that's coming out of your wallet. Nobody's saying that. They're saying that they should pay for that surgery and all other surgeries because healthcare is a human right. So fucking disingenuous. It's actually fucking disgusting.
That was some research today that someone put out. Here, let's play this and I'll forward this to you, Jamie. I'll text this to you. Keep playing. That's it?
That's that clip.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's a good example. It's a public town hall, which we attend. And it gets removed from YouTube because someone who handed us his business card, Rex Butt, hilarious, by the way. Like the rest of us, we weren't nearly as mad about this as we were just in doubled over in laughter. The guy's name is Rex Butt.
Do you think you had trouble securing the URL rights?
They're still on the Rex Butt thing. I mean, I admit it's funny. I'll get the super chat soon, guys.
His own name. That's a completely different website.
You have to run a search to get his URL.
Yeah, I just sent this to you, Jamie. If you follow the tweet, it is by Dr. Deborah So, and it is an article from the National Institute of Health Study. Dr. Zero Van Meter, a pediatric. Oh, okay.
Oh no,
pediatric endocrinologist. Well, she's anti all this.
Well, I'm saying they don't give any leeway to Asians. It's the minority group that they actually get more crap. It's like, well, you have to be better than everyone to get into a good college because there are too many of you.
Wait, it's just a doctor tweeting saying that gender fluidity isn't real? What the fuck does that have to do with the contents of this video? What is that? What does that have to do with the subject? Here, they've got it down the bottom right now. Here, look, for your fucking benefit, now you can see this shit too.
So many really good ones. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Q Van Meter, a pediatric endocrinologist with extensive experience in gender dysphoria, which, by the way, is hate speech, says there is 0.0...
What? Nice fucking dog whistle there, bro, Joe Rogan, saying the term gender dysphoria is hate speech? What the fuck are you talking about? Gender dysphoria is in the DSM. I say gender dysphoria. I haven't been canceled yet. In fact, transphobia is probably the only form of bigotry I haven't been accused yet by the people who dislike me. And I say dysphoria all the fucking time. I love saying dysphoria. It rolls off the tongue like a fucking load of nut. Like tickling my uvula. I love that shit. The implication here is that, oh yeah, it's hate speech because the authoritarian left doesn't want you using these terms to indicate there's anything unnatural about trans people. That may sound like a stretch, but I invite you to think of a better explanation for why Joe Rogan would say, oh, it's hate speech apparently, in regards to the term gender dysphoria.
Zero evidence that the concepts of gender fluidity and gender identity have any scientific basis.
Okay.
So this is...
Why should include 0.00? That's the second zero there.
She's money. She's thinking about cash.
Okay. No, give me. Go. Yes.
No, that doesn't mean anything.
She's thinking about cash, money. Well, I guess you could have 0.01%. You could have
Yeah, but
1/100th.
She wanted to
of
make sure there's
1%.
no doubt.
Yeah,
Just burning those extra characters we
she's
just
like
got.
zeros, bro.
Yeah.
She's very
So they were having a discussion about gender, like hormone blockers and gender transitioning and kids, and then someone's like, hey, I saw a tweet where one lady said that gender fluidity isn't real. Okay, cool, very cool.
the extra 240 characters.
What's funny though is you say like hate speech.
It would, by the way, dumb tweet. The idea that scientific evidence is the base. What do you mean? Have you found like brain scans that mean that gender is again a matter of identity? This is corroborated across pretty much all sociological, anthropological, and historical minds at this point, and linguistic communications. That gender is a matter of social identity rather than like a prescriptive biological thing. So the suggestion that science has proven that gender fluidity isn't real is fucking idiotic. What if somebody like wakes up one day and authentically believes that they would feel most comfortable presenting themselves as a guy? Like me. Like what if I'm like, hey, I'm feeling pretty dude today, and I head on out there. I'm wearing a fucking tank top and underwear right now, and I'm dabbing on folks in the street. You know how Vosh handles himself in public. Walking down the street in the Pacific Northwest, I see two college kids walking up to me, like a cute girl and like her boyfriend is like fucking 7 feet tall, big old beard. They walk by, and then right as they come close, rapid series of dabs. They never saw it coming, and then I keep walking. And I'm dressed like this, you know. And but then the next day comes around. It's the next day, and I wake up and I sincerely want to present myself in a feminine way, where I dress in like a sundress or some shit, and I shave my entire body. But I shave my whole body, and I thought I can't do it, guys. I'm not feminine at all. But pretend I was, okay? There are people who sincerely kind of like, one day I'll do this, one day I'll do this. What is that if not gender fluidity? You can say like, oh, well, they're just confused. Well, that's not a very accurate description, is it? Because they're not confused. They know what they're doing, and they choose to do what they're doing, and what they do makes them happy. That doesn't sound like confusion to me. It sounds like we need some kind of terminology to describe their behavior. It has to do with gender and the way in which they shift from gender. It's almost as though almost like a liquid moving from one surface to gender sloshy, gender dimorphic, gender wiggly, gender fluid, and then that would be the term used to describe that type of behavior. No confusion. They know what they're doing. Now we have a term that describes it.
Gender dysphoria is still in the DSM-5. That's the actual like the psychiatric journal that they use, reference book.
But they literally call it hate speech now.
Literally no one on earth says that gender dysphoria is hate speech. Like that's saying that term is hate speech. Literally no one on earth believes this. Nobody. Okay, I'm sure there are some fucking randos on Twitter. Nobody important.
Yeah, I know, but it's the actual medical condition.
Right.
What's crazy in that undercover...
And this is, again, how Joe Rogan does this, like, the trans people are crazy PC SJWs that want to censor our free speech by suggesting that this completely innocuous medical term is something that trans people consider to be hate speech. He reinforces this idea, this fundamental frivolity or absurdity in the ways in which trans people, like, regard this behavior. Very dishonest, very fucking dishonest, and exactly the same tactic a bigot would take.
God bless my wife. She went with us because we need other people to have hidden cameras, and so she posed as a lesbian. A movie kind of lesbian. They're like, really? You exist? I'm like, yeah.
They weren't even hardly fooled. They couldn't say anything.
Well, she, remember, said, like, I identify as someone with bigger breasts. and she was asking how to get this covered under Medicare, Medicaid, because they were talking about getting all these operations. And Mr. Rex, God bless him, Dr. Rex Butt was
only
like,
straight-
I think
straight
you
man
should
building.
mention that, talk about that gender dysphoria. So for her, they use gender dysphoria to try and file it medically to get new tits on taxpayer dime, but it was considered hate speech to say it to the transgenders in the room.
No one says gender dysphoria is hate speech. Also, what the fuck? No, wait. On the taxpayer dime? Excuse me? Do we have single-payer healthcare in America right now? Did I miss it? Did I miss the news? Hallelujah, day of days. Now I can get my fucking keloids removed. Now I don't have to pay to get the fucking wisdom tooth jaunted out of my fucking jaw. Great. Maybe I can finally get some physical therapy for when I threw my back out 2.5 years ago while deadlifting. That'd be pretty great. It'd be nice to be able to go to the gym again. Oh, wait, what's that? There's no single-payer healthcare and literally nobody is saying that breast surgery would be covered by the taxpayer's dime? Also, the transgenders, yeah. I barely even hear this anymore. I listen to so many fucking reactionary videos.
It's just crazy. Like, you can't make sense of it. And I don't need to make sense of it. I just need to not be banned for
She just
talking
wanted to be
about
the woman she was meant to be.
Right. Well, I mean, anything that you
Love that guy in the background. Who is that guy? Like a co-editor or something? Constantly taking shots, adding literally nothing to the conversation besides a disdain for trans people.
can mock is bullshit. I mean, if you can mock it that openly, if that's that obvious, like getting bigger tits because you identify as someone with bigger tits, I mean, that's bullshit. That's why it's so funny.
I like this, by the way, because I've seen the video, and it was literally like fucking Steven Crowder's wife dress whatever, goes undercover, and she's like, I identify as a woman with bigger tits, and the guy was like, oh yeah, you should go talk to a doctor about that. Like, that's it. Like he wasn't like, ah, yes, the bigger tit gender. Truly, your suffering is that which is most pronounced. I hope that I will ensure you are able to get the big boobies your gender demands, and I will do it on the taxpayer's dime. The guy was literally just like, oh, okay, yeah, you can go. Maybe you can go if you want to like look like that. Then you can go. Like, they're trying to play it up like they've uncovered the frivolity, the insanity of the transgender like advocates, but in reality they just acted kind of fucking cringy, and someone was just like, oh yeah, you can get that done.
I don't think I've ever been more in love with my wife than when she did that. I wouldn't expect it. She just looked at me, she kind of nodded, she's like, I'm identified as someone who has bigger breasts.
Well, did you see that guy that got busted molesting children and said he identifies as being a 6-year-old boy? That was a really recent case. I mean, people are trying this out when they get caught doing things.
And I love the implication. If you let trans people identify as the gender of their choice, what's next? 40-year-olds raping 6-year-olds and saying they identify as a 6-year-old? This is literally the if we allow gay marriage, soon people will be marrying their dogs argument. This is literally that. Joe Rogan is being worse in this discussion than Steven Crowder is by fucking far. This is disgusting. How can, like, the only reason that I'm getting all moral outragey about it is because there are so many people in my community who think that Joe Rogan is like, oh yeah, he debates a lot of reactionaries. Well, he's okay, dude. He's not. He's a reactionary. People are trying this out. Oh, yes, as though this 40-year-old was a fucking master. I saw that news article. That guy was clearly mentally ill. That guy wasn't some fucking criminal mastermind like, oh, yes, and when I'm caught raping the children, I'll say I identify as 6, and the PC media will have to cover me positively. I'll get my case brought all the way up to the Supreme Court. No. He got arrested, and he's going to fucking jail. Nobody bought it. Nobody was impressed. Nothing changed. He's just a crazy person.
And I'm not saying that there's not people out there that identify with being a man when they're actually a woman, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not trying to equivocate, but this is what they're going to try. This is what they're going to try and get away with if you let this shit happen. Of course, the fucking immediate backpedaling.
That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of fucking crazy people out there. A lot. And to deny that, and just because it's dealing with gender, you're
Nobody is denying that there are crazy people out there. What does this have to do with gender dysphoria or with trans people? What does this have to do with it? How does this have to do with it?
We're in Narnia now. We're in La La Land. You're not being real.
No.
Would you say we're in Clown World? Honk honk.
Well, let me ask you this, because like you said, you're not right wing. I'm pretty open about the fact that I'm right wing. I remember watching your show a while back, and you had, like you said, you're not right wing. I'm pretty open about the
You're not right wing.
fact that I'm right wing. I remember watching your show a while back, and you had little guy.
Jamie Kilstein?
Buck
Angel. Yeah. Little guy that used to be a gal.
Yes, exactly. And then I don't remember what I said, but it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and like, screw you, you're tranny. I said, well, I just don't buy it. And he
Did he just say tranny?
and then I don't remember what I said, but it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and like, screw you, you're tranny. I said, well, I don't.
For those of you who don't know, Buck Angel is a trans man porn star. I am going to, I'm gonna really quick try and find a picture of this man, and try and have it not be porn, because he's a porn star. Okay, does this image search result? Okay, we're good. Look, here's Buck Angel. All right. Look at that. He's a pretty beefy fucking guy. Pretty handsome too, IMO. Not really my look. I think he's rocking it here. This is a pretty good look. The mustache a little lopsided, but hey. Aren't hormones fucking crazy? Isn't it crazy that this person, I'm not trying to get all biologically essentialist here. I'm just saying that this person was born XX. I mean, this person was born very much not with the, oh, Buck Angel is a trans med. Okay. To be fair, he is pretty old. It's we don't need to cancel. I don't know. I need to look into it. Whatever the case is, this guy is pretty fucking old, right? He's like 50, 55, 60 now. But yeah, this person, born XX, not born at all with the genetic capability of looking like this, he said, fuck it, and decided to take hormone magic that would make him look like this anyway. That's pretty fucking cool. A trans med is a person who believes that you need to have gender dysphoria in order to be trans. It's a modern thing. The whole trans med versus not trans med argument is literally like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years old. It's a very recent argument. This guy's been trans for a while. It makes sense to me that he might hold like older values on this. Whatever the case is, from what I know, cool dude. Let's keep this shit going. Like, again, guys, please, it's like Zizek all over again. Stop with the cancel culture, okay? Not everyone who is helpful or useful or good is going to have every opinion right. I was a trans med until like 8 months ago. You want to fucking cancel me? You want to throw me out the fucking window? He's an old dude. He's probably going to have some opinions that are maybe a little bit antiquated. Jesus, fuck. It's like, hey, I heard this guy doesn't like mint chocolate chip. Yikes! Canceled! Stop. It's a cancerous fucking trend. Alright, nope, never mind. I've been canceled too. Fuck, now I'm a transphobe. My last fucking respite from problematic association, and now I am also a transphobe. Truly is life pain. Okay. Gotta be patient with old white dudes, Lamau. Unironically, you do have to be patient with old white dudes. Especially if they've already proven themselves to be a fucking ally. It's not like this isn't like fuck, what's her name? I'm forgetting. It was the first trans woman most Americans ever knew about. Was it Caitlyn Jenner? That lady, the shithead. This isn't like Caitlyn Jenner, where she becomes like the trans icon, despite being a conservative Republican piece of shit. Oh, what's the hardest thing about being women? It's deciding what to wear. It's not like, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody who's been active, pro-trans rights, pro-trans medical rights, big, like advocate, cool dude. Oh, but he's a Truscum? Okay, fucking fine, whatever. Go at him on Twitter, but be nice about it. Just like, oh, yikes. Cancelled! Get the fuck out of here with that fucking sectarian counterproductive shit. Not every critique is canceling people, Amal. I know that, but most people interpret critiques, especially on the left, as an invitation to cancel. Alright, let's keep it up. Let's keep it going.
I just don't buy it. And he wanted to get into a fight with me
Oh wait, yeah, wait. Let's go back to the beginning of the Buck Angel show.
a while back, and you had little guy,
Jamie Kilstein?
Buck Angel.
Angel. Yeah. Little guy that used to be a gal.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then I don't remember what I said.
It's just trans dude. That's all you have to say. It's just trans dude. Just a little guy who used to be a gal. Okay, just trans dude.
But it's the same kind of conversation we have here. Like, I don't just go out and like, oh, screw you, you're trans. I said, well, I just don't buy it. And he wanted to get into a fight with me. Like, he wanted to have a fight. Like, let's fight about it. This was years ago when he had him on the show.
Just had a fresh shot of test. Jacked.
But
he was huge at one time.
Oh, was he?
Oh yeah, got up to like 185, like super jacked, because just banging test in there and fucking lifting. But he was saying that his joints hurt really bad when he was doing that.
It's almost like it's unnatural. So.
Crazy.
Hey, I know plenty of people who take tests and bang out the weights really hard, and their joints hurt too, and they're cis men. I like this fucking like, oh yeah, Buck Angel, big bodybuilder, taking testosterone, hitting the weights really hard, and this guy's getting up there like 50, 55, and he said he's got to take a break, because his joints are hurting. Yeah, because being trans is unnatural. What the fuck does that have to do with it? How do you know how many fucking older dudes there are out there who are big in the fucking tattoos and weights and smoking and with the test? And of course, he has to take tests. He's a trans dude, and then their joints hurt when they get older. Would you go up to them and be like, well, are you trans? Because I know Buck Angel, his joints hurt. He's trans and he kind of looks like you, except you're a little bit taller. Oh no, I'm cisgender. Thank you. Oh well. Okay, I guess it's good for you then. This is natural. And keep going until I find a trans guy. Fuck off! God almighty. All right, hold on. Julian Roja, thank you very much for the $5 earlier. Sean Locke with the $20 fucking dollars. I know I thanked you earlier, but I want to thank you again. Thank you. And Ciancius with the $2. I hate these fuckers so much. Please, somebody eat them. I am willing to eat a small portion of Joe Rogan's body, okay? It would need to be well seasoned, but I am comfortable with that. Sam Kane with the $5. Talk about Rogan's horrible rhetoric and how he could do better. Do you mean horrible rhetoric like he could do a better job being a bigot or what? But yeah, I get you. Avatar fan 10,000 with the $20. Thank you so much. Forcing people to get surgeries they don't want is why people detransition. They are anti-freedom. Absolutely. Yeah, no. Unquestionably. Yeah. These people don't give a fuck about freedom. They care about maintaining the pre-existing gender hierarchy. Lil Zoe 18 with the €1. Fake vagina, penis and vagina consist of the same tissue. It's just in a different shape and function through hormones. Yeah, and the penis and the clitoris are analogous, and the scrotum is like the labial folds, and then the ovaries are the testicles. Yeah, it's like the same shit, really. Avery B with the $2. Ah, yes, same Buck Angel as a trans man. Such is her life. Such is her life. Wait, 132. Okay, cool. Sorry. Can we focus? And the prostate is the womb? Yes. Wait, no, that can't be right. Wait. HK with the £10. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. You say thank you. I say thank you. We'll keep the circle jerk continues. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's not? Well, hold on. Okay. So the testes, ovaries, the appendix testes, the fimbriated end of the uterine tube, the gubernaculum is the ligamentum teres. This is not hot. This is not hot at all. The ductus deferens, the perufron. Where's the womb? Are any of these fancy words for womb? Yeah, the gubernaculum. Where's the womb? Where's the prostate? Oh, wait, the prostate becomes the parathyroid glands. Hold on. Oh, okay, I'm glad I'm not showing you guys this. Okay. All right, I've done my research, and I can now confirm that the prostate doesn't turn into the womb. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Easy.
But back then, when you had him on,
jacked. Like, if I had a roll with that guy, I'd be like, fuck. All right, here we go.
No, come on, you wouldn't have come to that.
Try to be kind.
Yes, exactly. But the point is, back then, let me ask this:
When did they? I blanked out for a second. Did they say something transphobic? I didn't hear anything transphobic. I'll just assume they said something transphobic. It's probably a safe bet.
Did you realize it was going to get as insane? Like, or did you just think this was kind of, this is an interesting guest?
Well, he's a nice guy. And,
Right.
you know, I'm more than willing to call him a man. And that was one of the things that I said. I said, look, man.
What a high bar you set, Joe Rogan. Oh, thank you. You're willing to call him a man. Oh, Joe Rogan. Oh, you little fucking diplomat. God damn. Ah, yes. Yes, I had fucking Buck Angel over. I was willing. I was nice, okay? I was civil. I was willing to call this person a man. Yeah, I'm not a transphobe. I was willing to call. Oh, how generous of you. Wow. I'm very proud of you, Joe Rogan.
You're a person.
You're Joe Rogan. You're a little SJW libcuck, aren't you? Oh, you little transphile. Oh, Joe Rogan. He's not just a man, he's a person too. Oh. Chimney Pie, thanks for the $2. Holy shit, I was Crowder of mainstream cred. I love you. I love you too. It's very easy to have mainstream cred if you're a reactionary. The bar is not set high.
Whatever your name is, whether it's Buck or Fred or Wilma, I don't care. I just, whatever you want to be called. I'll call you whatever noise that you connect with you as a being. Yeah. I'm fine with that. And if you can explain to me...
This is overcompensating so fucking hard. Imagine, hey, someone's accusing you of being racist. I think Jeremy. I think Jeremy's a person. His name is fine. I don't care if he's called Jeremy or Tyrone or Denver. I don't care. I'll call him whatever word sounds he wants to be called. I'm totally cool. Hey, listen, I'm totally cool with the black people. The blacks, they're all right with me. Okay, so Jeremy, the black people, I don't have a problem. Like, gee, can you imagine fucking like wheeling this hard about a group of people you're not a bigot about?
Where you feel happy you're being a man, I'm 100% in support of you doing that. What drives me crazy is people making decisions for 6-year-olds, people pushing 6-year-olds in certain directions, and I know that this does happen.
No, it doesn't. Nobody's pushing fucking 6-year-olds. It's kids who are on the cusp of puberty who are demonstrating substantial indication of them being like trans or gender questioning. You then bring them in to a doctor or a therapist that's a kind of doctor who speaks with the kid, works it the fuck out, and then they say, hey, why don't, for a provisional period of time, we put you on these completely harmless, completely medically vetted, completely well-tested hormone blockers, and that will delay your puberty so that if you decide to transition, if you decide you're actually a boy or a girl, whatever it is you weren't assigned at birth, then you will have a much easier time with it. And then they say, yeah, sure, yeah, we can do that. This is totally easy and reasonable and definitely like a medically valid, evidence-based policy that we're going behind. That's it. NS Bullet 11, thank you so much for the $2. Love your work here. I love your sex joke.
I can't get too personal about this, but I have a friend who has an ex-wife that turned his child into a girl.
Again, this language, turned his child into a girl. Ah, yes, I remember when the legions of SJW mothers brought in their kids. But mommy, I'm a boy. No, you're not. Timitha. My name's Timmy. No, it's not. It's Timitha, and you're getting a transition. Now lay on the table. The doctor approaches, the pair of gardening shears coming closer. The fuck do these people think is going on? turn your child into a girl. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
And it, like tried this and was pushing this, and kids are very fucking pliable, man.
Oh yeah.
This is not, I mean, maybe some boys.
Again, this is the same argument reactionaries do anytime there's something that upsets the preconceived gender or sexual hierarchy. Gay people? Well, you wouldn't want to have gay people feeling comfortable being intimate in public, would you? What about the kids who will see that? Kids are very impressionable. Do you want a kid to see that and then think it's okay to be gay? Listen, nobody was ever fucking bullied into thinking they were trans or thinking they were gay. Everyone has confused periods early on in their life where they don't really know what it is they want or what it is their identity really is. That's what the hormone blockers are for. The hormone blockers don't change anything. It delays a change that's going to happen anyway. Muhilan Silva, thanks for the $1, friend. I really appreciate that. Really kind of you.
Boys would have rejected it. Maybe he was leaning that way anyway, but she was excited about it. And this is something that a lot of people are excited about. I mean, we're talking about a 14-year-old. I mean,
a 14-year-old? Yeah, I'm cool with 14-year-olds being transitioning. Are you fucking kidding me? I knew what gender I was at 14. I was really fucking certain, actually. Yeah. What? 14? I thought he was gonna make some shit about the kid being fucking 11. Or something like that. What? Because the mom was excited to help their child achieve the body and or like persona that they had dreamed of? This means that the mother forced them into it? Man, like, hey, listen, if your kid is clearly trans and you've gotten the A-OK from medical practitioners to engage in the procedural sort of treatments and therapy and medications that will help them transition, make sure you look fucking miserable about it. Because the last thing that you want is for some cunt like Joe Rogan to see you walking down the street being excited that your child finally gets to live a life free and comfortable and expressive and enthusiastic. The last thing you want is for Joe Rogan to see you and think, that mother looks excited. I bet she forced her kid into this.
I just don't think you know who the fuck you are. You know, what is that girl's name? Ruby Rose? Is that her name? The attractive lesbian with the tattoos? She said that when she was young, she wanted to transition. And she's very happy that she didn't. She wanted to become a man. And she's very happy that she didn't. And she's a lesbian. And she's happy. And she's open. And super successful. But
no, good thing that hormone blockers would give you this intermediary period during which you would have the consultation of medical professionals to determine whether or not your desire to transition is legitimate. They don't... Believe it or not, you can't just get a prescription for HRT by wandering into a doctor's office at 12 years old and going, I don't want to have boobies. I like boobies. I want to have big boobies. And the doctor says, because of SJW liberalism, I must comply. And they reach up to the top shelf and get the fucking HRT down and throw, yeah, boobie. And the kid just fucking swallows it and ruins their life instantly. This is not... This is so fucking stupid.
But she's advocating this sort of the same thing that I'm saying. It's like, let people become a goddamn adult and then make these inalterable, life-changing decisions. This guy's saying...
Let people become an adult and have already experienced the puberty that causes the depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, and social ostracization. Let them make sure they already get to experience that puberty that will not only make them suffer, but will also make it infinitely harder for them to transition. Make sure you gotta cross that suffering bridge first, you see? Are you really even trans if you don't cry yourself to sleep every night? Think about it, dummy.
That hormone blockers can be turned off and then you could go through a normal puberty. You're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joe Rogan, MD. Would you like to show me some research which says that's not the case? Because it is the case. Ooh, oh, little Joe Rogan. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings that doctors have miraculously found a way to delay puberty without harming people in the long run. I'm sorry if the fluidity of gendered and sexual expression, the ability for us to choose what we want to do with our own bodies upsets you. But, how awkward. As it turns out, hormone blockers do exactly what you say they don't. Ooh, that's real awkward. But I look forward to your burgeoning medical career producing scientific evidence to the contrary.
I'm not a doctor, but I have enough understanding of biology to know that that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is the height of reactionary anti-intellectualism. Oh, the entire medical community agrees on this thing. Listen, I'm not a doctor. I know enough about biology, though. I know this is crazy. What the fuck do I say to somebody this proud of their ignorance? Joe Rogan, you're huge. I know you'll never listen to this, but if you ever do, you're a fucking cunt. You're not just a cunt, you're stupid and self-absorbed. And if I ever had an opportunity to debate you on this subject, I could crush you and wipe my ass in the desiccated remains of your stupid fucking insecure wannabe alpha boy body. Okay? Easily.
Yeah.
That's just not true.
No, it's absolutely not true. And that's one of those things.
And of course, his compatriot, MD Crowder over here.
Listen, anyone can get lost in the weeds and make someone look stupid with something specific. You know, whether it's. I mean, you were showing me that compound out there. It's fascinating. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be a moron. You know, less than room temperature IQ. Some doctor can come in who's pro-transgender and explain something and make it sound like we don't know what we're talking about. So when it comes
pro-transgender, it's not a doctor doesn't come in pro-transgender. I like how they're saying this, like, yeah, listen, if you put us in a room with a medical professional, it'll look like we don't know what we're talking about. But when it's just us reactionary bros arguing about the validity of trans people together in this podcast recording room, yeah, it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? Well, as soon as you excise any sort of medical credibility from the discussion, our opinions sure do seem a lot more valid, don't they?
Comes to that.
See, I don't agree with you there.
Well,
I don't agree with you on
use
that.
terms we wouldn't know,
But
right?
it doesn't matter. What terms are there that you don't know about a child's biological development?
Ooh, Joe Rogan's going hard. He's saying even if there was a doctor here, he would be able to disprove the medical consensus with his big boy brain.
Well, what they point to is, well, actually, there are these studies that show that the brain alterations occur before across hormone sex replacement therapy, and it's not true. So we had a few transgender people on our show, but the point is, with these, whether it's a conspiracy or this, you say, okay, I'm not a doctor, and I can't just appeal to authority. I can't just say this doctor says X. So I do have to, at this point, accepting that I'm not a doctor, accept the preponderance of evidence from the overall medical community, and combine that with the anecdotal and
Steven Crowder is unironically being more reasonable than Joe Rogan here. Joe Rogan is such a fucking transphobe that he is saying unironically that if he had an opportunity to discuss this with a doctor who is completely versed in the medical consensus on this subject, that Joe Rogan would still argue with it. Steven Crowder actually has the humility to say, listen, we all have fun and jokes here, but like I can't actually argue with the medical consensus. Don't get me wrong, Steven Crowder still does say things contrary to the medical consensus. He still lies about this shit all the time. But at least in this moment, he is cognizant enough to recognize that he is not capable of countering this. But Joe Rogan isn't. Big brain Joe Rogan, fucking skull as smooth as his brain, thinks otherwise.
combine that with, is there a motive here? Is there an agenda here? Like a lot of conspiracy theories, it just doesn't add up because, like, well, who benefits from telling you, the world is flat? Who benefits from it? Now, I can understand how...
And then we pivot hard right into conspiracy territory. Hey, I'm not saying I can disagree with medical consensus, but, like, who benefits from it, man? What if there's an agenda there? Just say the Jews. Just say the Jews. Steven Crowder, just say it. Just say it.
Someone might benefit from a conspiracy where it's like, oh, they make a lot of money off of this. Or was it Tim Kennedy as a hunting Hitler thing? I'm not saying it, but it's like... Oh.
You make a lot of money off pretending that transgender medical consensus isn't real, Steven Crowder. One might say you have an agenda in this regard.
Okay, I understand after war...
Does Streamlabs only accept PayPal?
No, you can do it with credit card.
Okay.
I think. I might not have credit card enabled right now.
Okay.
They thought maybe they had Hitler and they needed the healing for the country. Okay, I can understand that.
Wait,
With that-
what?
Like,
I look
someone
away
might
for
benefit
1
from
second.
conspiracy.
Hitler?
Oh, they make a lot of money off of this. Or was it Tim Kennedy as a hunting Hitler thing? I'm not saying it, but it's like, okay, I understand after war, they thought maybe they had Hitler and they needed the healing for the country. Okay, I can understand that. But with this, it just doesn't add up. None of the arguments they present add up.
It's a new way for millennial parents to whack off. It's the turn of the age.
Hey, I'm not going to argue against medical consensus here, but I am going to say that their medical consensus is wrong. It just doesn't, in my completely uneducated opinion, the medical consensus here. What medical consensus? That hormone blockers don't function the way they're advertised to? Do you have any evidence to suggest otherwise? No, they don't. Of course they don't. It doesn't matter to them.
To their children into social experiments.
It's disgusting.
And subject their children to social experiments. Joe Rogan is every bit as bad as Steven Crowder, and quite possibly worse. Joe Rogan is a massive piece of shit. Huge fucking conservative bigot. I can't believe people think otherwise.